In the darkest corners of the human mind, reality can become dangerously distorted. What if everything you believed felt completely real, but was fundamentally untrue? What if your thoughts, your perceptions, even your sense of right and wrong were quietly rewritten by your own brain? For some individuals, this isn't hypothetical, it's their daily reality, and in the most extreme cases, those distorted perceptions can lead to actions that shock the world. What is a delusion? A delusion is not simply a mistaken belief, it's something far more powerful. A delusion is a fixed belief that remains unshaken even when there is overwhelming evidence proving it false. To an outside observer, it may seem irrational, even impossible, but to the person experiencing it, it feels absolutely real. There is no doubt, no hesitation, no internal conflict, just certainty. And that certainty is what makes it so dangerous. The brain behind the illusion. At the core of these experiences are complex neurological processes. The brain is built on billions of neurons, constantly communicating through electrical and chemical signals. But when these signals become disorganized, when connections misfire, overlap, or break down, perception itself can begin to shift. Reality is no longer interpreted accurately. Instead, it becomes filtered through confusion, distortion, and false meaning. Patterns are seen where none exist. Intentions are assigned where there are none. Threats are perceived in harmless situations. The brain, in essence, begins creating its own version of reality. Section 3. When reality and belief collide, 3:30 to 5. Here's where things become deeply unsettling. Society operates on shared understandings, laws, ethics, and boundaries that define acceptable behavior. But when someone is experiencing a severe delusion, those shared standards may no longer apply. An action that is clearly wrong, even illegal, may be interpreted as necessary, justified, or even righteous. To the outside world, the behavior appears shocking, but to the individual, it may feel like the only logical course of action. This disconnect between perception and reality is what creates some of the most troubling psychiatric events. Section 4. Distorted morality, 5 to 6:30. When perception changes, morality can change with it. Right and wrong are no longer guided by societal norms, but by an internal system shaped by confusion and misinterpretation. In extreme cases, individuals may believe they are protecting themselves from imagined threats, acting on a higher purpose, correcting something they perceive as wrong, even when their actions directly harm others. This isn't about simple decision-making, it's about a completely altered framework of reality, one where the rules themselves have been rewritten. Why these cases shock society? When these events surface in the real world, they often leave people asking the same question: how could someone believe that was okay? But that question assumes something critical, that the person saw the situation the same way everyone else did. In reality, they didn't. What we see is clear and obvious. They may never have seen it all. Instead, they were navigating a world shaped by false signals, distorted meaning, and unwavering belief. That's what makes these situations so difficult to comprehend. Because from the outside, it looks like choice, but from the inside, it feels like truth. The real danger. The real danger isn't just the action itself, it's the certainty behind it. When someone truly believes their perception is correct, there is no reason for them to question it. No pause, no doubt, no internal warning signal. And without that internal check, the boundary between thought and action can disappear. That's when distorted belief becomes real-world consequence. Final reflection. The human brain is one of the most powerful systems in existence. It allows us to think, feel, reason, and understand the world around us. But when that system becomes disrupted, when perception itself is altered, the results can be profound and sometimes devastating. Because in those moments, the person isn't simply choosing a different path, they are living in a different reality. And in that reality, what appears unthinkable to us may feel completely justified to them. Call to action. If you found this insight thought-provoking, subscribe for more deep explorations into the human mind, behavior, and reality itself.